Yeah, I feel like I could think more. Now that I'm not as cold and I didn't eat nothing this morning. That's another factor. When you don't eat, you can't focus. It's good to fast, but you can't really. See, fasting is great for health benefit. It has a lot of health benefits to it. Like you do lower your risk of cancer from fasting. I believe it was a comedian who he beat his cancer by fasting. Well, no, well, I know the comedian's name. It is a comedian. I'm just not going to say his name, but he had cancer, and he claimed to have cured his cancer. I forget which type. I don't know if it was prostate or I don't really feel the need to look at it. But back to the jobs. Yeah, we have to answer to authority with a job, and that's the problem. Not I don't want to say with today's generation, just people in general. They don't like to answer to authority. And if you don't respect authority in society, you will respect it some way, shape, or form. Maybe in another institution where they impose their authority on you in unthinkable and just unimaginable ways that I don't want to get into. But you know, it was I told you it was a guy. He didn't like how the female manager was talking to him yesterday, and I didn't really join into the conversation. But like I said, I understand where she's coming from. She has to meet a certain expectation every night. So I understand her job is what it is. And he's new. I just don't understand how someone that did time in prison has a problem with being told what to do. I want to emphasize when you have a job as a man, if it's a low level job, a low entry job, low skill job, put aside your pride. Think about your bills, your savings, your future. If it's a very simple job, stop thinking about your pride so much. Because obviously you put that aside when you applied for the job and when you accepted the job. If you really felt like you were above working for McDonald's, you would have never. This is what I don't understand. If you felt so above McDonald's, why did you take the job to begin with? You shouldn't feel like, oh, I don't ever want to hear the words, I'm a grown man. You're not going to talk to me this way. But you understand this is what comes with working in customer service. Don't put your pride, don't don't make it like you're above this job. You're above being talked to this way. You're above being yelled at. You're above being criticized, reprimanded if you accepted the job in the first place. Because this is what comes with it. This is what I said this countless times when I go to work. I said this is what we signed up for. We signed up for unpredictable work schedules, high volume, like freight. This is just what it is, and they love the fact that I can get done 5, 10 carts within a 25 minute period. I could get like 5, 10 carts done. I'm talking about I probably do an average maybe like 3,000 boxes a day, like by myself. And I see guys walking 2 boxes to the carts, and I'm just like, this is why people get fired. The cameras are watching how slow you're going. They see you on your phone. They see you texting. My phone is off at all times because I was fired from a job in Tampa for being on my phone. And that's what life is. Life is about learning from your mistakes. But they like and here's another thing too. They adopted my apparatus of how I do the boxes, because when I before I came in there, they were throwing them on the ground. They were one dude was throwing but he was throwing the box like it was a bowling ball, and they stopped. They used the carts when I came along, Because I told them like my story. I tell them everything. Yeah, I starved for 7 days. I worked some of the worst jobs you can imagine. Like what we're doing, I had to do twice the work in Madison, Wisconsin. I did Walgreens. I worked there in their warehouse, and it was horrible. It was like $18 an hour, but it was exactly what we're doing. But I was by myself, so this is what I'm used to. But some people need to put aside their ego and just look at this is what it is. If you feel so above, because every day, this is why. See, the guy I was mentioning in my past videos, he was a little perplexed on why I read, why I study before work. He was getting in the middle of that. I do these things so I can prepare myself for better opportunities in the future. Because with school, it's a lot of reading, it's a lot of writing. You have to be able to endure hours and hours of reading. Like it's not just, oh, I'm educated, I took a few classes. Like no, you have to endure. Because I want to graduate. I want to graduate so I can have a career that I enjoy going to one day. But with school, I want to condition myself to study, like to read. Like I could read without getting tired 3 hours, but I want to make it 7 hours by the time I start school because you have to get to that point. Because some people get tired after maybe. It was a time when I would get tired after just maybe a paragraph, but like I said, I overcame that challenge. But please put aside your ego and just make your money. Do what you're told. You are a peasant, and they are the knights and the kings. And you have I'm sorry, not the knights. They are the kings and the queens, and that's just what it is. You have to abide by the rules, or you can find somewhere else to work. Simple as that.